we go. Hey guys, so we're here. I'm not sure if you can see me or not. We're here at Cabo Pulmo, which is a national marine park. What that basically means is that there is a lot of reef out here. So to give a little backdrop, I don't know all the tiny details, but basically like 30 some years ago, the area was heavily fished and hunted, and I guess the reef kind of died really badly, and the animals and the fish were not coming around. So they changed that, and now that it's a national park, they can no longer hunt or fish in the area. So the wildlife returned, and the reef came back stronger than ever. It's something like the largest and oldest living coral reef in North America. But yeah, so we did a little snorkeling. Now Elizabeth's doing a little snorkeling. I'm gonna do some drone footage for her, and yeah, let's see where it goes. we said previously, she doesn't want to pay to go snorkeling because we don't know. We don't know if the water's going to be good for her, or if it's a good place for her that is going to make her sick, or if it's going to be great. So we didn't want to take the chance. So the guy did tell us that the boat tour would take us out and we would do different stops to snorkel or whatever. So that was great, and I thought, okay, that's kind of a cool idea that we could potentially do that, but we weren't going to do it. So the guy at the front gate was not letting us in because of that. So then
well, no, and then he said you could do a $40 just snorkel guide. In order to snorkel, apparently they say you have to have a guide.
Yeah, and where we were at, sorry, we didn't disclose this. We are at Los Arbolitos in Cabo Pulmo. That's a beach there. There's a few different beaches there in Cabo Pulmo. One of them, I forget what the actual beach is, but it was right there in the small town of Cabo Pulmo. And then there was one that was a little, it was closer in on the drive. What was that one called?
I don't remember.
So those three beaches were the ones that you could swim at or whatever, but this one, that Los Arbolitos, is right where the reef is, where the reef starts. So that's what he was saying. You could do a $40 guided snorkel tour, but you weren't going to be on a boat because they were going to take you out and they were going to show you where to snorkel and where to go. And there was different stops and then come back. Well, and it was snacks and drinks, I think, or non-alcoholic drinks.
Well, when you don't know that it costs and you only got $40 on you, and they don't take credit cards, so
we didn't know. Had we known, we might have got some more cash.
Especially when the guy did not disclose that when we talked to him earlier.
Yeah, we didn't know that. He didn't message us that. All he said was, you can do a boat tour for $65 per person. And we didn't have that on us anyhow, and we didn't think we were going to do it, so we didn't bring extra cash. Is what it is. So it started off sour. And then talking to the guy on the phone, he was explaining to us that we could do the $40 one or whatever. But then when we realized that we didn't have more than $40 per person, we just had $40 total, we were like, well, we can't do it. So we said, all right, I guess we're going to have to leave. That was probably, what, a 15-20 minute ordeal there, figuring that out.
Because, yeah, the translation doesn't fester very well.
We used Google Translate quite a bit. We used it more for like menus at different restaurants that were only in Spanish. That's helped out a bunch. But we've tried to use it a few different times where somebody, we needed to converse with them, and conversation just wasn't working out very well. Very well. But it worked a little bit, and it's worked in the past for me, but just not so much this time. So Cabo Pulmo, after we left Los Arbolitos, we were, at that point, we were on our way back out. We were going to leave, we were going to come back towards town, go do some other small things that we had talked about doing. But on our way out, we got into Cabo Pulmo, the town, and I saw this building, and I'm like, hey, maybe we should check it out. It looked like a little dive shop and restaurant or something. So Elizabeth was just saying, that's what it is or whatever, no big deal. And I said, well, I'm going to go in and just see it real quick, just to see, because I could see there was a map. Huh?
Big bus coming.
So, anyhow, we pull in, and I start to walk over towards the map. Elizabeth stayed in the car, and this guy walked out of the dive shop area, and I started talking to him. We kind of kicked it off and was talking about Cabo Pulmo and what was going on with us trying to get in to go snorkeling, and the guy just didn't understand where the miscommunication happened, why the guy at the gate wasn't understanding what we were trying to do. He said it's not a big deal or whatever.
Because he doesn't know English.
Yeah. This guy spoke English very well. I don't know if he's from the States originally, but he told me through our conversation that he's lived in Cabo for the past 25 years, and he's actually lived here in Cabo Pulmo the last 4 years. So I don't know where his great English came from, but he kept up a conversation very well with me. So yeah, he didn't understand what was going on at the gate at Los Arbolitos. So he was just telling me, he said, you can go back and tell the guy that you just want to go swimming. He said, basically you can go 30 to 40 meters off the shore. The biggest deal is they don't want people going way far out to basically right where the reef is, because the reef isn't right on the shore. There was quite a bit of reef right on the shoreline.
I thought so too.
But
it wasn't very habitated though.
yeah.
They just don't want you to mess it up.
Yeah.
I think.
So, and that's what he had told me. He said he didn't want, or they don't want people that are snorkeling from the shore to swim out to the reef, and then when they get tired, have to stand on the coral to be able to take a break, and that damages the coral. So that was his big deal, and what the reason that they don't like people snorkeling without a guide or without a boat tour is because of that. But he said, yeah, you can snorkel right off the shore, no problem, no big deal, that's fine. So you could definitely tell they try and protect the environment there, and the coral reef and the waters and the animals and the fish. And
It's good.
yeah, they're doing a great job for that, and they've been doing a pretty good job with COVID stuff too, with keeping the people that are there safe.
Yeah.
You want to explain that? So we did.
I don't get it.
Well, okay, so we talked to the guy, and we said, all right, we're going to go back. So he did offer us a boat tour from there. That's where the boat tour starts. So where that was, right in Cabo Pulmo, the reef isn't there, so you have to take a boat ride out. Once you get the boat ride out, then they take you to the reef in a few different locations where you stop and you snorkel, and the sea lion colony, which is a different island, and all that jazz. So Elizabeth wasn't interested in doing that, so we decided to go back to the entrance and tell the guy that we just wanted to swim. So on our way back, we pulled up Google Translate, looked up just exactly how to say we just want to swim. We knew how much it cost because Sergio from the dive shop, I'll put a picture of his card right here. He had told me that it was 40 pesos per person, I think it was, to be able to get in. So we knew that was how much, babe? $2 a person?
Basically $2 a person.
Yeah, it was like $2 a person. So all we had was
There's a goat on the side of the road.
all we had was two $20 bills. Goats. Sorry, there's goats. We had two $20 bills on us, so we gave him a 20, and I told him we needed 357 back, and he ended up giving us 300. Fine, no big deal, whatever. I'm just ready to get in there and go snorkeling at this point, and she had to pee. So, you want to explain the COVID thing? What they did?
They made me get out, and they have these mats that one's wet and one's dry. You're supposed to wipe your feet off with the wet and then wipe it off with the clean, and then they give you hand sanitizer right after.
Like a bunch.
So I don't really know what the whole feet cleaning your shoes entails, but
If one of you guys understand that, please comment in the section below and explain to us why. Once we finally pulled into the drive, you want to explain that?
what?
Well, when we first got out of the car,
Oh, you get out and they want to sanitize you basically.
they want you to put on your mask.
I thought they were gonna spray us.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Well, I never put my mask on, but he did. And then they want your bags that you bring in just to literally take like a soaker to it and spray it.
Yeah, it's just like
It gets it so wet though, like it doesn't make any sense to me.
it was real wet. Like the things inside were getting wet.
Yeah. It did that at our hotel too, which kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah, some of our stuff got a little wet.
I mean, they drench it.
Yeah, it's like a lawn care pump nozzle.
Yeah.
I'll put a picture. So anyway, yeah, they spray you down or spray your stuff down, which was pretty odd. But I didn't really know what he was going to do or what he wanted us to do because he just has this nozzle, and then he tells me mask. So I put my mask on, and then I walk out with my bag, and then all of a sudden he starts spraying it down. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what he's doing. So yeah, that was kind of weird, but I mean, they are doing protective measures. Like you said on our way up, they haven't had many cases, so maybe they're doing the right thing down here. Social distancing for the most part, other than Medano Beach. Yeah. So once we got out there, there's a guy that spoke English. Not sure where he's from, but he gave us the lowdown and said as we were walking up to the beach, he told us something about, hey, they try and sell you guys on the tours.
Yeah.
And he said you don't have to do that. He said you can just swim along the rocks here and you can see lots of fish, lots of colorful fish. unless they catch you. So,
I mean, if I'm already in the water,
yeah.
you know, wave me down, screw me.
So
there wasn't anybody there either.
Right.
Maybe like
there was like 2 groups there when we first got there,
yeah.
and then by the time we left, there was literally nobody. We were leaving right, I think, at closing time at 6. So yeah, we got our stuff put over on the rocks. Went and flew the drone after we were done snorkeling, but we went snorkeling out in the water, and at first it was pretty rocky and shallow. And little did I not realize, I was thinking we had to go out a little further to be able to get away from the rock to be able to see stuff. No, they were right there. We didn't even realize. So once we got going, though, we put on our snorkels and started going at it. So yeah, that was our take on Cabo Pulmo and the snorkeling.
It's beautiful there.
It was gorgeous.
Very secluded.
Yeah.
If you want to be by yourselves, that's the place to go.
For sure. Very much so. I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's beautiful countryside.
Very big hike, but
yeah, it was worth it for sure. And maybe one day we'll come back with some friends or family and we'll do some of the snorkel boat tour stuff to where we can actually go out and see the sea lion colony and see some of the better coral reef areas. So it could be much better than what we saw today, but it was great. So far, we think it was our best place to snorkel. I think that's it. So yeah, that was Cabo Pulmo for us in a nutshell. We've got tomorrow's a chill day. We're going to be hanging out by the pool. We're probably going to do a all-you-can-drink deal, so hopefully we can relax and just hang out by the pool before we have to head out of Cabo and head back to the States. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed our vlog from this. We'll do a little bit more